everyone doing?
On TV.
Ray-Ro. ENN. It's brought to you by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisian.
Come get some.
Yeah.
I want to start off by saying good evening to Michael.
I'm 63. I've never done a hit of marijuana.
And to Don.
If Paul Simon's like, hey, Don, I'm familiar with your work. You wouldn't even have to say I enjoy it. Just the fact that he consumed me.
And to myself. Eagles game is not what it was. Excuse me.
No, but the mic picked up the swallow.
It's that's a tough moment for me.
Not tougher than your Met one.
Eagles game is not what it was. Excuse me.
No, but there was legitimate concern for Michael.
I've never heard that he's actually worried.
I worry about you a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just in general?
Love Tiger. Sniff him. Sniff him dead.
My biggest worry is that one day I'm not going to be here, and you're much younger than me. Who's going to worry about you when I'm gone?
Do you see what's in my hand here? Do you see this hog that's in my hand here, Michael? I'm going to be fine, Michael.
Hang up on Ed!
Although I was in the mood to scrap with that guy who said, I never agree with you, Peter. I've never once agreed with you.
You think that had political leanings?
Without question.
It's just hard to imagine that if you listen to the show, you've never agreed with a sports thought that I've ever had. Like even if you really hate my guts, there has to be a day. Like I get on the radio a couple days ago and I go, hey, can we all agree to give Stanton his flowers? He's screaming right now. No, I completely disagree. Stanton is trash. He deserves nothing.
Never mind that. Then the point he makes is one that agreed with you and disagreed with us.
It was closer to me than you guys, certainly.
And I just don't understand how people even know your political leanings. I think you've kept it very close to the vest.
Boom! I mean, honestly, can I tell you the truth? Let me tell you something.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I tell you the truth? Mm-hmm. Relative to, it seems like a lot of people in the market and in the world, I kind of do keep them close to the vest. I mean, we're joking, right? But, I mean, there are other sports talk shows. They're outright just talking about who they're voting for. I don't do that.
There are other places where maybe you tip your hand, and maybe they're going on that.
That's not right.
But if you listen to this show, you have not made it known.
That's not true.
It's just an assumption. So it's not
fake news.
But we can't be this way.
No.
People. You just completely disown the other side.
I love my commies.
And that goes for both sides, man. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because at some point, no matter who wins the election,
we're going to have to live with each other.
We're all on the same team. We want this to work.
Are we?
Well, apparently not.
That's what I'm
saying. We're supposed to be.
When people call and just volunteer, hey, I've never agreed with a word you said, which just isn't true. I don't know that he wants to be on the same team as me.
But that's fine that he doesn't agree with anything, but he has to not like you for that?
That's not right.
Ebros.
Do you think the reason Mayor Adams never wanted to come back on our show was because after he went on the morning show with us and repeatedly pluralized Ebro's name, at that point, after we made fun of it, he said, I'm done with him?
I think he had a flight to Turkey. So
I'm getting a lot of tweets because the mayor is wearing the split Yankee hat.
Yeah, I posted it. Yeah.
I don't care. Are you going to call him a front? Fine. He's the mayor.
He goes without saying he's a front.
I don't know what you want him to do. And listen, if you want, Giuliani wore his heart on his sleeve because he was actually a fan of the Yankees. If he's not a fan of either team, then he's probably doing the right thing. And at this point, you want to try to make many people happy as possible. What's happening with him? He's from New York. He's from Brooklyn.
Did you say what's happening with him?
Yeah, lots of
clown show. By the way, speaking of me and the Mets, no, Mets. I'm in on the what? All right, guys. I've been waiting to get to this all day.
Well, then
long.
do it.
It's not his fault that this got bounced to 5:30.
You know what? Now I'm switching. Doing something else just to piss Michael right off.
I don't even know what it was, so you're not really setting me off, are you?
Can you set up the Bob Wischusen audio I'm about to play here, Don?
So the Wild are playing the St. Louis Blues.
On
Bob
ESPN.
Wischusen's on the call right there.
You hear that, Phil?
First game of a doubleheader for ESPN. Mm-hmm. And late in the game with the goaltender pulled for the Blues, this happened.
Buchnevich fires in, looking for a goalie goal. Gustafsson scores!
15th goaltender to be credited with a goal in NHL history, the 11th to physically put the puck into the net. So that's pretty cool.
Isn't that the only way to get a goalie goal?
No, because if, let's say there's an own goal, Michael, like let's say they pull the goaltender, the St. Louis pulls the goaltender, and they throw the puck back to the defense, it gets missed and goes into the net, they will give the goal to whoever was the last player on the other team to touch the puck. So if that happened to be the goaltender, like Marty Brodeur scored a goal into the net in the playoffs against Montreal, but there was also a game that he played against Carolina. Carolina scored on their own net. Marty was the last person to touch it and gets credit with the goal. Billy Smith also got a goal that way. So 15 have gotten 4 credited, but 11 actually physically put into the net. I think Shesterkin's going to do it one day, and I'm hoping I'm on the call when it happens.
Will you go goalie goal?
No, I don't like goalie goal.
So you're criticizing Wischusen?
No, I'm not criticizing. It's just preference. I think he had a hell of a call.
What would you call it then if it's not a goalie goal?
I got to live in the moment, Michael. I'm not sure.
You haven't thought about it?
Yeah.
In other words, he's going to try to just get a word in edgewise.
No.
Yeah.
Are you watching?
All right, guys, some Giants news. Malik Neighbors practiced Wednesday in a red non-contact jersey.
Practice at Jace.
It's confirmed. For the first time since suffering the concussion a few weeks ago against the Cowboys.
I heard he
Brian
had
Daboll's,
earbuds playing Travis Scott.
Brian Daboll's optimistic. By the way, that's like... I think the Travis Scott story kind of came and went, so now we reference it all the time. I think it's a deeper cut than we realize when we just drop. And,
I don't know what it means.
See, exactly. He's on the show, Michael. Dable is supposedly optimistic, hoping Neighbors will take the next step tomorrow. He's in the concussion protocol.
I want to get it.
He went to a Travis Scott concert.
Oh, that? Okay.
See? It's a deep cut.
But yeah, I should have, but I didn't care.
See?
I forgot.
Here's the really bad news for Giants fans.
What's that?
Andrew Thomas underwent surgery to repair his Liz Frank. We all know the Liz Frank.
I used to date a girl named Liz Frank.
Related to former Congressman Barney Frank?
No relation.
He will miss the remainder of 2024.
Not good.
Brian Daboll
not what you
announced.
want.
No. That is absolutely not what you want. Saquon Barkley is not a New York Giant, but he will return to MetLife Stadium. Saquon, how are you going to be received?
This rivalry is so much bigger than what happened in the offseason between me and the Giants or Hard Knocks. Like, this has been going on for a very long time. So I've been on the other side, and I know how Giants fans feel. So I don't know what the environment is going to be like, but I'm excited. As a player, as a competitor, you kind of welcome those environments and those moments. So wherever it is, hopefully it gives me a little extra juice, and I can go out there and perform with my team.
I'm going to guarantee it right now. Outpouring of huge love for Saquon.
And anybody that doesn't, I'm going to give it to you again. Anybody that doesn't, you don't know what you're doing. They didn't want him back. They didn't even make him a real offer. So what you want him to retire? So, yeah, but listen, I understand booing him once the game starts. The first time he shows his face, you got to cheer him.
Yeah, the first couple times when you first see him come on the field for practice, he'll get cheers.
Yeah.
When they come out, he'll get cheered, and then after that, we'll see.
But knowing fans, Michael, it has nothing to do with logic or who's right, who's wrong. If the Giants were 4-2 and playing exceptionally well, they would boo him because they're happy with their team. Philadelphia's a mess. If being unhappy with your team. And you hear a lot of Giant fans calling up, well, why, if we still had Saquon Barkley, then that might motivate the cheer because you're coming from a place of being upset with your own team. So with the Giants being 2-4, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a warm welcome.
This is fascinating, though.
Tell us.
Jordan Ronan threw up a tweet. He's ESPN's reporter for the Giants. Will Saquon Barkley get booed by Giants fans on Sunday? Nearly 7,000 people have responded. 88% say yes, of course. 12% say no, he was a good Giant.
Right, but
I have a theory.
I'm going to just agree with your theory blindly.
It's going to be a great test of how fugazi and ridiculous the internet is. I guarantee you that when we watch the game on Sunday, it does not feel like 88% of people agree with this.
But it's
sentiment.
according to when you're going to judge that. Because the first time you see him, I think there's going to be cheers. Once the game starts, he's public enemy number one.
I don't know if he's public. Listen, it's not basketball. I just don't. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's not basketball where every time the player you traded catches the ball, you boo. The stadium's too big. I don't think they're not going to make any noise when he gets a random carry. I think it'll be. And let me ask Anthony, you were once a Giants fan before you were completely apathetic and miserable about them. Matt, go back to those days when you weren't miserable and broken. Would you cheer? Would you give Saquon a nice clap when he shows up?
Yeah.
You don't have any negative feelings?
No.
The one-syllable answer. He's so great at it.
Yeah, he's very good.
He doesn't elaborate.
You can't screw that up.
He does go okay every now and then. That's true.
No, well, okay is popular.
He changes it up, but you can't stammer. You can't make a mistake.
Thank you.
He does a great job with that. But it's also the cesspool that is social media.
Right.
So the 7,000 people that voted, 85% of them are people that are just evil and are negative.
Oh, wow. You really cast aspersions.
No, well, guess what?
About social media?
No, but you paint everybody with a broad brush. They're stoned. It's just irresponsible.
I'm standing by that. I believe 75% of our callers are stoned. 50% of the listeners in whole get high. I stand by that. But I think part of the experience of getting high is calling the K Show.
Apparently so.
You guys know.
And whenever I've challenged callers, Michael, they all agree.
Hang up on it!
I don't do much here. I don't contribute much to the show.
No.
I'm not very good at what I do.
Yes.
But the one thing that I will say I'm very good at is having a pulse on the audience.
Aaron Rodgers was asked if he was already hopeful that Davante Adams would join him.
Yeah, of course. But I knew there was going to be, a lot of other teams interested. I think it came down to where he wanted to be, and this was at the top of his list.
Important question for Davante Adams. How do you feel about playing with Garrett Wilson?
Obviously, getting in with Garrett, we talked about this like a little over a year ago of just how we wish we could have played together, just because I'm a fan of his game, and obviously, the feeling is mutual on his side, too. So, yeah, here we are now, and we just got to maximize this and take advantage of it.
I got to call BS.
Really? Come on.
Ambassador Johnson?
Do you really think, in the current climate of wide receiver world, all right, that wide receivers get together and talk about playing together?
Here we go.
Yeah, but this is at the Pro Bowl.
No, but I'm saying is that do they dream of playing together like basketball players to make each other better? Wide receivers want the ball. Like, I don't think Wilson's going to have a problem with this, but I think he came here to play with Rodgers. Wilson's, I don't think, part of the vibe. You think the way that wide receivers are divas, they dream about playing with one another?
I think that Don's point just now makes me the point guard for the day. Because I said it earlier. That there might be a problem with Garrett Wilson.
I don't. I think both could be true. I don't think Wilson's going to have a problem.
I think he will.
Per se.
I think his soul, he's not the number one receiver anymore.
But don't you want to win?
Yeah.
You know what I'm confused by? Garrett Wilson switched to number 5, which I haven't been a fan of. I just for some reason don't like seeing the 5. And now Davante is going to be 17. It's all a lot to take in, guys. Now there's another important Jet whose voice needs to be heard. Some would say he's more important than any of the players and any of the coaching staff.
Interesting.
His name is Fireman Ed, and he's come under some fire. He's come under some fire since this statement, which is making the rounds today.
Hey, I've been getting a lot of emails and texts from fans about the Jet experience in the stadium with the big screens. Last night in particular, although on the Denver game also, last night in particular, we scored a touchdown. And normally, as a tradition, we're always put on a screen. Me, Scott, and Jetman are put on a screen to do the Jet chant and get the crowd going, which is a staple in Jet Life Stadium. Also, on the defensive end, which is the most important, normally they will put us on the screen to get the crowd going. It gives it more of a widespread experience for the fans to see, and we can get the defensive chant going. But something's going on in the Jet production team over in Jet Life Stadium. I don't know exactly what's going on, but they're phasing us out, and I'd like to know if somebody knows anything, please let me know, because it's evident that it's happening, and it needs to stop because we need home field advantage. That's what we have, and we need to keep it going. So something's going on. Please let me know if you know something. Thanks a lot. Go Jets.
It's a bad sign. They even played him out, Michael. That's how you know they were ready for him to wrap it up.
Oh, boy.
I'll let Don handle this.
Oh, boy.
Don, you have some thoughts?
The only team that's been worse at home have been the Giants. So if there's a home field advantage, whatever he's doing hasn't worked in a while. I get he means a lot to Jet fans, but if he's being phased out, I mean, what do? You do your thing, man. Like, what do you get so concerned about it for? I mean, besides, you also were so upset during the Sanchez time, you disappeared. Now you're back and you're upset you're not getting enough FaceTime on the big screen. Is this an issue in Jet World?
You know what I think you should do, Michael?
What's that?
If he's not getting the screen time, there's only one option.
What's that?
He's got to make his full-time gig instead of going to games on Sundays, just getting on a flight, maybe a JetBlue flight, and just doing his chants right there on the plane.
I don't get it.
You don't remember like last year when there was the Jets game and they traveled for it and he did it on the plane?
Yeah.
And I really upset Jets fans because I said if I was on that plane, I'd open the emergency exit and kick him out. People got very upset.
I had my issues with him. I think we've squared things away.
You're good.
But I just think that you're just putting too much thought into it, man.
It's also a tough look. I mean, what I would say to Ed, if I was advising him, go ask the Jets. What are you putting that out into the universe for? Like the Jet fans are going to force the production team to put him on the screen more? Just ask the Jets.
I only have one thing I can say to Fireman Ed in this situation. God bless. That'll do it for ENN on this Wednesday evening. It's brought to you by our friends over at Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Jeep Adventure days. Don, that was for you, and you were too excited to say something. I thought that was just to make you laugh. And you were.
I'm sorry.
You want me to try it again?
Go ahead.
There's only one thing I could offer to Fireman Ed at this point. You know what it would be?
What?
God bless.
That is good. That is very good.
I will come back.
Listen, you fire up the crowd so you're not on the Jumbotron. So what?